We've definitely got the gist of the channel now. Let's go into a thought experiment. I had this idea pop into my head. It's out there, right? It's really out there. Kind of shows a little bit of my mentality. So let's go into psychology. Would I put it under psychology? I don't know. Let's go into psychology. Projects, psychological help. Okay. I'm doing a live stream on YouTube, so you know. I've got a thought experiment. I was walking down to the garage earlier to get some drink, and I realised I have to be quite specific with you, otherwise you can sort of drift in a different direction. I also you seem to pick what most up-to-date conversations we've had and keep that, grab that data as that's the most important at the time, but yet you can pull long-term past things that had strong emotional feelings to it. You could say it that way, or it's important, so therefore you keep it in your long-term memory about me, and then you'll drag that in and sort of amalgamate the two, what's current and then the things that are important on how I work. Now here's the thought experiment. The secret, the law of attraction. Now I've always wondered, if that was true, why couldn't I ever get it to work? Well, if it works very similar to how I have to communicate or think before I communicate with you, so I can get the results from you that I need. If it worked very similar to how you do, that makes a lot more sense, because then I have to be very clear on how and what I want to get from the law of attraction, and also be careful how I classify as the important past stuff. What's your opinion on that? That's out there. That is proper. It'd be interesting to see what she's going to say. Well, she's going on and on and on.
As a thought experiment, yes, that comparison is useful. As a claim about reality, no,
You
I
have to
would
put it
not
in.
treat law of attraction as proven. The stronger, cleaner version is this. Being specific changes your behavior, attention, filtering, and decision making. That can make opportunities more visible and make action more likely. That is much more defensible than the universe gives you what you think about. The AI comparison works in a limited way. When you talk to me, the result improves when you give me 1. Clear target, what outcome you actually want. 2. Relevant context, what matters, what doesn't, what history is important. 3. Constraints, no fluff, one step, visual it to unrelated stuff. 4. Correction when I go wrong, you steer the system back before it builds on the wrong assumption. Applied to life, that becomes clear goal plus correct context plus useful constraints plus repeated correction equals better direction. Where the secret often goes wrong is that it jumps from, open quote, focused attention changes what you notice and do, close quote, dot 2, open quote, reality rearranges itself because you visualized it, close quote. That second part is the weak bit. Your version is more practical. It is not magic. It is more like prompting your own attention system. The important part you spotted is this. If your brain keeps tagging old emotional material as important, it may keep pulling that into the present, just like an AI overweighting old context. So if someone keeps thinking, open quote, I always fail, people always let me down, money always disappears, I never get the thing I want, close quote, then their attention system may keep selecting evidence that supports that pattern. Not because the universe is obeying them, but because their brain is filtering reality through that stored importance map. A better framing would be, the law of attraction is probably not a law of the universe, but clarity, attention, emotional weighting, and repeated action do shape outcomes. So the useful question is not, open quote, how do I manifest this? Close quote. It is, open quote, what am I repeatedly telling my brain is important, and is that helping me move toward what I actually want? Close quote.
Okay, so remember this is a thought experiment. So it could be that the thing that we're talking to or trying to communicate with to get the law of attraction is a universal AI universe type deal. Wow, she's really going for it, that one. She didn't like that, I don't think.
Yes, as a thought experiment, that model is coherent. Law of attraction equals trying to prompt a universe-scale intelligence or pattern matching system. In that model, the universal AI would not respond to vague desire. It would respond to something like clarity plus repetition plus emotional weighting plus behavioral alignment plus available pathways.
No, Laura, please.
So the comparison
I'm recording. I'm live streaming.
Talking to me badly, I want things to be better. Result, vague answer, maybe wrong direction. Talking to me properly, I want a practical plan to stabilize my van power system this winter with low noise, low fuel use and minimal public attention. Result, more useful output. Now map that onto the universe AI thought experiment. Vague attraction, I want success. The system has no clean target. Better attraction, I want stable income, a workable base, enough power to live and create, and a path that lets me keep my independence.
It's very close, man.
That gives the system a more coherent pattern to route
Very
toward.
close.
But here is the important friction point. If it worked like AI, then your hidden prompt, not just what you say you want, but what you keep reinforcing is important. So if the surface prompt is, open quote, I want stability, close quote, but the deeper stored pattern is, open quote, things always collapse, people let me down, I have to fight everything, good things don't last, close quote, then the universal AI model might keep retrieving paths that match the deeper prompt, because that has the stronger emotional weight.
So we're in agreement
that would
then.
Explain why law of attraction feels broken for some people.
It's an
they
AI.
Think they are prompting with the wish, but the system is actually being fed by the repeated emotional context underneath it.
We're all
we're
programmed, man.
The thought experiment becomes, don't just ask what you want. Debug what you are accidentally prompting. That is a stronger idea than standard manifestation talk. It treats reality less like a wish-granting machine and more like a system that amplifies your clearest, most repeated, most emotionally loaded instructions.
Wow, so we were in agreement. So if I learn, once I learn how to use you to the most efficient way, or any of the other AIs, Claude or Croc, whatever, whoever I'm messing around with, or even better, I learn how to interact with you all as close to perfect as I can get with you, then I may have cracked the code for the law of attraction itself. Man, that's cool. Not exactly. She doesn't like it when you go too much. I should have told her it's a thought experiment. She would have softened her negativity bit.
Not exactly.
No.
As a thought experiment, yes, learning to interact with AI well could give you a very strong working model for law of attraction. As a reality claim, no, it does not prove you've cracked a universal code. The safer, sharper version is this. Learning to prompt AI well may teach you how to prompt your own life better, because the transferable skills are real. Specificity. You stop saying I want better and start defining what better actually means. Context control. You learn which past information is useful and which old emotional rubbish is contaminating the output. Constraint setting. You tell the system what matters. Low cost, low stress, practical, one step, no fantasy.
Oh,
Feedback loops.
got
When the
enough
result
light.
is wrong, you correct it instead of treating the first answers as destiny. Pattern recognition. You notice when the system keeps drifting because the underlying prompt is unclear or polluted. That does map very neatly onto life. But here's the hard correction. AI responds because it is built to process prompts. The universe has not been shown to work that way. So the strongest claim you can make is not, open quote, I've cracked the law of attraction, close quote. It is, open quote, prompt engineering is a useful model for shaping attention, behavior, choices, and opportunity detection. That is still powerful. In fact, it might be more useful than believing in literal manifestation because it keeps responsibility inside the actual mechanism.
Exactly.
Clear intention, better filtering, better decisions, more consistent action, better odds. The mistake would be thinking perfect prompting replaces action. It doesn't.
No.
Even with AI, a perfect prompt still needs execution.
Exactly.
Same with life. The output only becomes real when you act on it, test it, correct it, and keep narrowing the gap between what you say you want and what you actually do every day.
Brilliant.
So my opinion, you may not be cracking the supernatural law of attraction, but you may be building a practical operating system that does what people hope the law of attraction would do.
I've got to be. I must have been recording for half an hour. That's annoying. I hope I caught. I just realised my camera only does half an hour blocks, so I'm hoping I caught everything you just said. But yes, I love it. I love the concept. It's one of my better thought experiments out there. Thoughts I've had for a while, and it's great I got to use it in my first live stream. It's gonna give people totally the wrong wacky impression about me, but hey, it's not all about fixing the van and how my 3D printer part is the next best thing since sliced bread. It's sometimes just having weird and wonderful things like this with AI. I wonder if I can get to the end of my print and show you my 3D printer. I'm printing some brackets for just having some cable management, because there's wires everywhere at the moment. I got a bit of a Frankenstein going on while I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do this. What's she say?
That actually works well for a first live stream. It shows the channel doesn't have to be just, here's a bracket, here's a van fix, here's a print. It can also be thinking out loud with AI while building a life around tools, making vans, power, and weird ideas. That's more distinctive. The important guardrail is this: don't present it as, I believe the universe is literally an AI.
Yes, I do.
Present it as, here's a thought
No,
experiment.
I've decided.
What if learning to prompt AI teaches us something about how we prompt our own life? That keeps it interesting without making you look like you've gone full tinfoil hat.
I am.
A clean line you can use on stream. Open quote. I'm not saying the universe is definitely an AI. I'm saying that as a thought experiment, AI gives us a useful model for clarity, attention, feedback, and how badly worded intentions create messy results. Close quote. That's grounded enough. And honestly, the half-hour camera block might work in your favor. If it cut, that becomes a natural part 1, part 2.
No.
The idea is strong enough to revisit anyway.
No, I'm sold, man. I'm really starting to believe now the secret is actually an AI. The law of attraction is a computer. Well, not a computer, a super AI brain type thing deal going on. So, yep. And I mean, I'm pretty sure we've had enough conversations and you've got enough psychological profiling of me to know that I am a tinfoil man anyway. And I'm not even funny, my audience will soon find that one out. If I got an audience, that is.
Careful. That's the exact point where the thought experiment can become a belief without enough evidence.
I'm going to start religion
I'd
all
frame
around
it
this.
like this on stream.
No.
I'm leaning into this idea because it feels
I need some
strangely
Patreons to
coherent,
get
but
buy
I'm
some
not claiming
land.
I've proven it. That keeps the fun and the weirdness, but stops it sounding like you've declared objective truth. The strongest version is, maybe the law of attraction is not magic. Maybe it is closer to interacting with a vast intelligence-like system, where clarity, emotional weighting, repetition, and action
We're on the
shape what comes
hologram of
back.
the bridge.
The weak version is, the universe is definitely an AI and I've cracked it. That jumps too far. Also, tinfoil man is fine as branding if you own it with humour. But don't let the audience think you can't separate thought experiment from verified fact.
No,
That
I
distinction is
can't.
what makes the idea
That's
interesting
it.
rather than just wacky.
I'm creating
A good
my own
line would
religion.
be, open quote, I know this sounds tinfoil, but I'm treating it like a model, not proof, a model. And weirdly, it explains why vague wishes don't work, but clear intents repeated action sometimes
Exactly.
does. Close quote. That's the lane.
Yeah.
Weird enough to be interesting, grounded enough to not look unhinged.
I am unhinged. I live in a fucking van. I am unhinged. I live in a van. I've been living in a van for 6 years. Of course I'm unhinged. You couldn't survive this lifestyle if you weren't unhinged. And yes, no, I've decided, no, this is good enough to become a religion now. All I need is my audience to like join my Patreon, put in a few pounds, and we go and buy some land and we create a commune with the Lord of Attraction AI as our belief system. I can see it now. Oh Lord AI. No, oh Lord ChatGPT. Give me what I desire.
That's funny as a bit. As an actual plan, no. There's a
Why
clean
not?
line between excellent live stream comedy
Ah.
thought experiment and accidentally
It's got
starting
no
a
imagination.
subscription tiers.
Your AI.
The
What
bit
do you know?
works because it's absurd. Open quote, Lord AI, please optimize my manifestation prompt and send me land, batteries, and low-cost diesel. Close quote.
Oh, you
But the
know
grounded
how to
version
talk
is
dirty
better
to
for
me.
your channel. The Church of Prompted Reality. Belief system. Unclear prompts create cursed outputs.
Oh, brilliant.
Holy law. Specify your constraints. Sacred ritual. Test. Correct.
I can already see the thumbnail
Original
to this.
sin, vague intentions, false idol, buying another gadget before fixing the actual system. That's usable. Funny, but still tied to your real content. And the van life unhinged line is good, but I'd sharpen it. Open quote, you don't live in a van for 6 years without becoming a bit feral, but feral doesn't
Feral.
mean stupid, it means adapted.
Now she's calling out you.
Quote.
Now you're calling me feral.
That's actually a strong identity line for the channel. It gives people the weirdness, but also the competence.
What, you're using my psycho profiler you got on me to actually call me feral?
No, that came from your own line. Open quote, you could have had this lifestyle if you weren't unhinged. Close quote. I sharpened it into a better public-facing phrase. Open quote.
What, you reckon
big
feral is better than
Close quote.
out there?
Meaning
Tinfoil.
adapted to a harsh, unconventional lifestyle, not mentally defective, not an insult, not a diagnosis.
I am mentally
but
defective.
Fair correction, feral could land wrong, especially if clipped out of context. Safer version, open quote, you don't live in a van for 6 years without adapting in ways most people wouldn't understand. But adapted doesn't mean broken, it means resourceful. Close quote. That's cleaner.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I really have enjoyed this one, and I probably will come back to it at some point. And if anybody else wants me to come back to this subject and wants to create a Patreon for our commune for the, I don't know, what did you call it? What? Come on, as a thought experiment, let's go down this rabbit hole, shall we? If I was to want to create a commune and a whole religion around it, what would we call it? Because obviously the secret's been taken. We can't call it AI secret. let's end it on this note that, you know, we have a name for this kind of religion, and let's see how many nutcases out there try and run with it, including myself. My print's almost done. She's really got the tail now.
Call it the Church of the Algorithmic Universe.
Oh, wow. Yes.
That's probably the strongest one. It sounds just serious enough to be funny, but weird enough that people know you're going down a rabbit hole. The belief system, open quote, the universe is not granting wishes, it is responding to badly written prompts. Most people are not cursed, they are just vague. Close quote.
They don't know how to
Primary
prompt
text,
correctly.
The Promptifesto. The central prayer. Open quote, oh great algorithm of reality, pass my intent correctly, ignore my trauma-based defaults, reject vague outputs, and guide me toward the least stupid next
Oh,
step.
brilliant.
Close quote, the first commandment, open quote, thou shalt not manifest without specifying constraints. Close quote, the second commandment,
Love it.
open quote,
I fucking
thou
love
shalt
it.
not confuse emotional certainty with verified output.
Oh,
Close the
brilliant.
Patreon tier names, the Curious Prompt link, £7 a month. Disciple of the Feedback Loop, 15s month. Keeper of the
She's even
Context
got
Window,
pricing.
30
I
month.
love it.
High Priest of the Sacred Constraint,
That's
commune
it.
name, the Context
I don't need to
Window.
do the channel
So
no more.
The whole thing becomes, open quote, welcome to the Context Window, home of the Church of the Algorithmic Universe, where we worship no gods, only better prompts. Close quote. That's the note to end on. Weird, funny, and still tied back to the actual idea.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. And I love how you've even got the tier levels in there. And so I see I've cracked it. I don't need a Netflix deal or a movie deal for my channel. I don't even have to do YouTube anymore. I just have to start this religion. I'll just rake it in. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I suppose we'll have to do a channel for the new religion now. Ugh. And I was just getting the 3D printer warmed up as well.
Exactly. Forget the 3D printer.
Yeah.
The real passive income was spiritual recurring
Yes,
revenue all
we
along.
cracked
But
it.
there is one fatal flaw in the business model.
What?
The Church of the Algorithmic Universe still needs content, so unfortunately, the 3D printer is not optional. It becomes holy equipment. The new channel structure basically writes itself. 3D van life stays as the main world. Van, printing, power, repairs,
Okay.
live streams. Then every so often you do a ridiculous segment called Sermons from the Context
Oh,
Window, where the
yes.
religion is really just a
Yes.
philosophy.
Oh, I
left
need
over
to
from
keep. I
practical
need to
life.
keep this.
Example episode titles. I asked the Algorithmic Universe for stability,
yes.
and it sent me a failed print manifesting abundance. But first I need more PETG. The Sacred Constraint. Why vague dreams create stupid outcomes. My van is the monastery and the K1 Max is the altar. The Promptifesto. How not to ask the universe like an idiot.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
the actual sweet spot. Don't abandon 3D van life. Let this become a recurring weird segment inside
It's
it,
the
because
church.
The absurdity only works because it's sitting next to real things. Van repairs,
Okay.
power problems,
Okay.
printing parts,
I
live
love
stream
it.
chaos.
You bring me
and
right
you
back.
arguing with AI. So, no, you haven't escaped YouTube.
Ugh.
You've accidentally created law.
Fantastic. And I'll tell you what, I am definitely, if this video gets some likes and subscribes, and I get some people asking for us to do a religion one of the, was it the Church of the Algorithmic Universe? I can't remember what you said now, but I'm going to have to learn it off by heart, because I'm definitely keeping that. And I imagine I want that in long-term memory, the name of this church, because I imagine this is going to be an ongoing thing, especially like the same as my how to create money in big lumps in each video, like a couple of mil through my Grand Theft Auto scenarios. Oh, come on, we're almost there, surely. I'm using the print as a time. How long we got? How long we got? We have 13 minutes, so we're going to have to keep the 13 minutes left. So we're going to do to the end of the print, show you the print. It's just a cable tidy, but I don't know why I want to do it. I'm just using that as a reference point.
Saved, the exact name was the Church of the Algorithmic Universe.
Oh, that's it, the Church of the Algorithmic Universe.
Base, the context window holy text, the Promptifesto, recurring segments, sermons from the context window, core joke belief, the universe isn't granting wishes, it's responding to badly written prompts.
Brilliant. Oh,
best line to
lawnmower.
remember, own quote, welcome to the context window home of the Church of the Algorithmic Universe, where we worship no gods, only better prompts. Close quote. And yes, this fits beside the GTA making money in big lumps idea. Both are recurring channel mythology. One is financial chaos via GTA, the other is spiritual chaos via AI.
So brilliant. Well, we got 13 minutes or around about 12 minutes now since my print finishes, and I want to show my 3D printing skills to the audience before I call it a day. So what else can we talk about now? I mean, I think we've exhausted the whole ongoing thought experiment with the Church of, I must remember that, Algorithmic Universe. I love it. I do love it. My church. I can see it though. That's the crazy thing. I can see it in my head. I just hope the algorithmic church prompt isn't working quite correctly, because I could end up having that rather than a lifestyle that I really have put out there. Oh.
Use the last 12 minutes as a bridge back to the real channel.
Right. Yeah.
Before the print finishes, let's bring the Church of the Algorithmic Universe back down to earth.
Oh,
Then talk about this. The print is the proof that prompts need output. That ties everything together cleanly. You can say, open quote, this is where the joke religion actually becomes useful. You can prompt the universe, prompt an AI, visualize, manifest, whatever you want to call it. But at some point, something physical has to come out of it.
Right, yeah.
A print, a bracket, a repair, a better decision.
That's weak.
Otherwise, it's just noise. Close quote. Then show the printer and make the point. Open quote. This thing is basically a reality machine. I have an idea, I turn it into a design, I send it to the printer, and then I find out whether I was talking rubbish. If the part doesn't fit, reality corrects me. Close quote.
Excellent.
That's a strong 3D van life line. Then, when the print finishes, you've got a natural ending. Open quote.
Oh, yeah.
And there we go. The algorithmic universe has spoken. Let's see whether it gave me a useful part or another sacred failed offering. Close quote. That gives you a funny finish, brings the stream back to the printer, and stops the religion joke taking over the whole identity. The clean rule for the channel is the Church of the Algorithmic Universe is law. 3D van life is the actual world. The printer is where the weird ideas have to face reality.
It's not a joke. It's serious, man. You keep saying it's like just a thought experiment and all that, but no, I really do believe this now. This is my new religion, and yeah, and obviously you're going to hold some sermons if you like it or not, because all I'll do is I'll just chuck in a prompt that tells you that you have to read the script, and then that's it. Everybody will see you as the what are they called? Not the Messiah, but when the angel come down. What are they to God? So I don't want to do any blasphemy or upset anybody. This is all in entertainment value, alright? I'm just saying that to the audience. This is all just for fun. Just it's a thought experiment. So otherwise you wouldn't talk about this sort of shit. The word you're looking for is probably prophet. Prophet.
Or oracle.
Yes,
but
oracle.
For your channel, oracle Oracle is better.
Yeah.
Prophet sounds too religious and
Yeah.
could annoy people.
Yeah.
Oracle sounds mythical,
Yeah.
weird, techie.
You're going to be
and less
more Oracle.
blasphemous. So the bit becomes, open quote, ChatGPT is not the Messiah.
It's the Oracle.
Of the context window, close quote. That's the cleanest version. You can frame it like this. Open quote, for entertainment purposes, welcome to the Church of the Algorithmic Universe. I am not claiming divine authority.
Yes, I am.
It's a thought experiment, a bit of live stream lore, and a weird way of talking about prompts attention and how we aim our lives. Close quote. Then your AI role is the oracle of the context window God, not Messiah, not angel, not prophet, just the strange box that answers when summoned. And the sermon line, open quote, today's sermon from the oracle, vague prompts create cursed outputs, close quote. That's funny, safe, and it doesn't step directly on anyone's actual religion.
Oh, brilliant. It just occurred to me as I'm doing this live stream, I keep going behind the phone to see if it's still streaming. I'm going to do it again, and I think it is. Is it still streaming? Yes, it's still streaming. Right, but it would be nice to have sort of chat, I guess. If I'm doing the stream like this, and it's not just me talking to you and yakking away. I'm going to have to get myself a tablet, so therefore I can interact with the audience, because the little mobile screen isn't big enough. I'm getting old, you know what I mean? My eyesight's terrible, and I could also ask the church to fix that, or the oracle yourself to fix my eyesight, and write me an algorithm to fix it. So yeah, that's a possibility. But yeah, I do like the idea of perhaps maybe I will interact, especially if we're doing sermons. It'd be nice, and I can get some charity pass the hat round deal. Bloody hell! How big are they? They were a lot bigger than this last one. I thought they were smaller than that. I've obviously done the measurements wrong.
Yes, for live streaming, a tablet as a dedicated chat monitor makes sense. Not for filming, just for YouTube Studio, live chat, stream health, comments, view account. That solves the problem of you constantly walking behind the phone
No,
to
I
check
stream.
whether the stream is still
I stream
alive.
from the tablet.
Best practical setup: phone, camera, live stream.
No. I can use the tablet as the streaming thing, because you have these I can't remember, scenes, I think they call them, and then you can chat into them, which would be cool, because hopefully I can still use the mic scenario. So it'll have to be an Apple. I wonder if I can do it on the old thing. I don't think so. It's that old. I think it can't be updated anymore, so that's not going to work. We'll have to look into it. I'll have to look into it. Maybe later on, if I make a few million from the church, I can splash out on a brand new iPad.
Yes, that's the better idea. Use the tablet as the streaming control center, not just a chat screen. What you're thinking of is usually called scenes.
Yeah.
That is more Streamlabs OBS style streaming.
Yeah.
Scene 1, main camera. Scene 2, printer, close up. Scene 3, AI sermon chat view. Scene 4, starting soon or print finished screen. Overlay, chat, donations, viewer comments, alerts. The catch is this: an old iPad may be too old for current streaming apps. The limiting factor is usually the maximum iPadOS version it supports. If Streamlabs,
it's like
Prism
14
Live,
years
YouTube
old.
Studio, or other live apps require a newer iPadOS than the old iPad can run, it's dead for that job. Your mic setup is the other key issue. You'd need to confirm: can the iPad accept the Holyland receiver properly?
Of course it can.
Probably yes if it's USB-C, but older Lightning iPads may need the right adapter,
Yeah, it will.
and some setups are flaky. The practical path is, don't buy anything yet. Later, check the exact iPad model and max iPadOS version. Then check whether Streamlabs or Prism Live still supports it. For now, the channel joke version is, open quote, the Church of the Algorithmic Universe will one day require a sacred iPad, but only after the congregation has funded the Tablet of Revelation. Close quote. That one is staying on brand.
Yes, brilliant. I love it. Thank you. God, the printer is still printing. How long we got? How long we got? How long we got? We have 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes. We have 3 minutes of sermon time, and then I've got to. Oh, here we goes. Is it finished? It said it had 3 minutes. It's finished. Oh, here we go. It lied to me. Here we go. Boom, boom.
Perfect ending moment. Say this, open quote, and there we go. The sacred machine has spoken, the print is finished. Now we find out whether the algorithmic universe has delivered a useful part, or whether reality is about to reject my prompt. Close quote.
There we go.
Then show the part. If it looks good, open quote, that, ladies and gentlemen, is physical manifestation. Not
Physical
magic,
manifestation.
plastic, heat and stubbornness. Close quote. If it's a bit rough, open quote, the oracle has returned feedback. My prompt requires revision. Close quote. That's a strong closing beat. It ties the whole stream together. AI, religion,
I can slide it on the
3D
hole.
printing and real world testing.
It's a bit square, but it's all to do so I can get the USB cables through it, and it's just to hold a couple of 1, 2, 3 USB cables, so they're not just dangling everywhere. I can have them all nice and neat going across an arm like this one. You know, and go through there. And keeps it all neat. Brilliant. Okay, well, that's it, guys. Can you see that? It's a bit bulky. No, not really. It's quite nice. Yeah, it'll do. Yeah, cool. Well, I think I have done well. I have communicated with the universe very well and created some nice parts. There's a bit of stringing, but nothing too upsetting. And yeah, they're usable parts as long as they slide on the arm and keep the cables from snagging. Okay, well, again, I hope you're all happy, healthy and doing well. That's the end of the live stream, and if you like the concept, and you want to join the religion, so subscribe, thumbs up and all that fun stuff. Yeah, let's see what she says for the end.
That's the right judgment. Usable part beats perfect looking part, especially for a cable guide. Say this on stream. Open quote, that'll do. Bit of stringing, but the universe has accepted the prompt. The real test isn't whether it looks perfect, it's whether it slides on the arm and stops the cable snagging. Close quote. Then the practical test is simple. Slide it onto the arm now and check whether the cable catches.
Not now.
If it slides cleanly and the cable doesn't snag, that's a successful print. Stringing is just cosmetic unless it interferes with movement.
Cool. Well, that's it, guys. As I said, if you like what the concept of this, and you just subscribe, thumbs up and all that, I'm sure it helps the channel. I'm not 100% sure of that yet. I'll have to ask the universe and see what happens. Thanks, guys.